Bait crisis could take the steam out of lobster this summer. Portland, Maine. The boom times for the U.S. lobster industry are imperiled this year because of a shortage of a little fish that has been luring the crustaceans into traps for hundreds of years. Members of the lobster business fear a looming bait crisis could disrupt the industry during a time when lobsters are as plentiful, valuable, and in demand as ever. America's lobster federal regulators are imposing a steep cut in the herring fishery this year, and some areas of the East Coast are already restricted to fishing, months before the lobster season gets rolling. East Coast herring, the cut is leaving lobstermen, who have baited traps with herring for generations in Maine, scrambling for new bait sources and concerned about their ability to get lobster to customers who have come to expect easy availability in recent years. The cut in the herring quota stems from a scientific of the fish's population last year by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration's Northeast Fisheries Science Center. The assessment found the loss of herring has sounded alarms among scientists and conservationists, because the fish also serve a critical role in the ocean food chain and they're valuable as food for humans. It's unclear exactly what factors are causing young herring to fail to survive to maturity, said Jonathan DeRoba, lead assessment scientist for herring with the Northeast Fisheries Science Center. He said it's Wednesday. Fishermen bring herring to shore mostly in Maine and Massachusetts, which are also the biggest lobster fishing states. Lobstermen, the New England Fishery Management Council is also considering herring catch quota for 2020 and 2021 later this year, and fishermen said they're concerned the cuts could be maintained for those years. The loss of herring The U.S. lobster fishery set an all-time record for value at docks in 2016, when the catch was worth more than $670 million. That was also the lobsterman Jeffrey Peterson, who fishes out of the island town of Vinyl Haven, Maine, said he'd sure hell be able to load his traps with bait this summer. He's just concerned. ITLL.
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.